All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, man. The Los Angeles Lakers yesterday made a proposed trade to the Detroit Pistons. Jerami Grant for Talen Horton-Tucker, Kendrick Nunn, a 2027 first-round pick. Now, I don't know if this trade has officially been declined or not from the Detroit Pistons, but I would imagine this isn't going to get the job done. I really don't think this gets it done. I think this trade, that package would maybe get a guy like Harrison Barnes. But to be quite honest with you, I don't really see Jerami Grant getting moved. I really don't see Jerami Grant getting moved. It really depends on Troy Weaver's evaluation and just like opinions on Jerami Grant. What I think is important to remember with Detroit is they're in year 1.5 right now of rebuild. So they're in year number 2 of their rebuild with Troy Weaver. Jerami Grant had a bunch of other options in free agency 2 seasons ago when he was done with Denver. What happens? He signs a long-term contract, 3 years, $20 million, to the Detroit Pistons. The Detroit Pistons, they have not been good at basketball in quite some time. It has been quite some time. So I just feel like Troy Weaver is not going to put Jerami Grant somewhere that he doesn't want to be. And Jerami Grant, 27 years old, entering the prime of his career, putting up 20 points per game, 5 rebounds, 2.5 assists this season. He's only played about 24 games because of injury. That's actually kind of, something that I think a lot of people kind of are overlooking. Is last 2 seasons have been kind of injury riddled. But anyways, I just think there's too much of a bond between Troy Weaver and Jerami Grant because Jerami put a lot of faith, put a lot of trust in the Detroit Pistons organization that this was going to be a good spot for him to go to. And after averaging 12 points per game in his last season with Denver, only played about 26 minutes. Was really solid, actually, in his 1 season at Denver. 22 points per game, 4.5 rebounds last season in his first year with the Detroit Pistons, in really the first season of his career where he's a focal point. In 2018, 2019, played about 80 games, started about 77 with the Oklahoma City Thunder, put up a good stat line, 13.6 points per game, about 5 rebounds. So you knew there was potential with Jerami Grant a couple of seasons ago. But in Denver, didn't really get that same opportunity. And even in OKC, he wasn't the first option. So comes to Detroit, it becomes a first option. I just think there's a little too much there. I really think there's a little too much there. Jerami Grant has already come out and said, ideally and preferably, he would not want to be like a 3rd or 4th option on a basketball team. That's not really what interests him. And he's looking for a long-term extension. So you can see it from both angles here. One angle is you want to abide by your players' wishes, and you're not going to go against your word, or you're not going to go and screw one of your boys up. On the other hand, money talks, and at the end of the day, it really is a money game. There isn't much loyalty in the NBA league anymore. So who really knows what's about to happen? But I would imagine the Detroit Pistons would not accept this trade for at least some time. Let's say Detroit actually doesn't get much interest. I would imagine 100% what happens is they just hold on to this trade. They don't decline it, but they just kind of wait. That's it for today. Drop a comment down below if you guys would accept this trade. Hit the like button, hit that sub button as always. I'll see you guys later.